Hello again, everybody. It's TZ, Tom Zimmerman, Vice President of Sales here at Two's Company. And what a good-looking audience from what I can see. There's still many people I see out there that have not enabled their cameras, and it would be great to see you so we can recognize you. I'm sure we've met many of you at different trade shows and maybe even in traveling and in your stores. So it'd be great to be able to recognize you again. Just wanted to, before I introduce Bobby Gottlieb and Tom Gottlieb, our CEO and president, respectively, just want to review again the toolbar down at the bottom of your page. The cool thing about Shindig, which is our application for this event. It's very interactive, so you can talk to each other off screen throughout the event. And like I said, we'll keep the event going well after for another 15 minutes or as long as we need to after the event is over. So you can continue to ask our guests questions or talk amongst yourselves. Again, down at the bottom, you'll see a number of icons. The three-person icon on the left side of the toolbar at the bottom of the screen, that enables you to correspond with one another, each other of the other members of the audience during the event, either with a text chat or a live chat. When you're doing that, no one in the audience can hear you. The question mark is probably the one that's most often used in these events. You can a text box will come up and you can ask your question. Our producer offline will then put your question on screen, and our guests can respond directly there. And then the hand, you raise your hand. Our producer offline will recognize you. You'll come up on stage, and you can be up on the screen and then ask our guests whatever question that you have, or whatever comment that you have that you want to add to the conversation. I'd now like to get our event started by introducing Bobby Gottlieb, our CEO, and Tom Gottlieb, our president. Take it away, folks.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so very, very much for joining us today. I've been looking forward to this meeting all week. The last one was so exciting, and we all learned so very, very much from it. You know, we love this industry, and you are our extended family, and we are honored and privileged to have this town hall meeting and to share ideas. We're in New York, so we are still sheltered at home. I understand most of the country is now sort of getting back to work or is open. So we've been busy, however. We've been thinking of all the changes that we will face once we open. We've been trying to plan how we can better become a company that is relevant and serves your needs. And I'm sure that you have been doing the same. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being our family and for sharing your thoughts and ideas with us. We hope to continue with Shindig and have many, many more town hall meetings with you. So, Tom?
Well, I'm not sure how much more I can add to that other than I think the best part of our days these days is when we meet with our creative team and get back to business. Of course, that only happens a certain part of the day because you're trying to figure out ways to survive and get through this. But I heard today is about that. I think that we're going to hear some great ideas and creativity, and I think that it's so energizing because that's what our industry is all about. So that's what I'm looking forward to today, because it really is the fun of our businesses in what we do. So I thank Megan and Nathan for joining us and leading the pack here in today's Shindig. And like Bobby, I hope that we can continue to provide a platform for everyone just to interact and share. The industry it's funny, the industry for years has been so segmented and all over, and everybody kind of doing their own things. It's great. This maybe the silver lining in this is that it gives us all an opportunity to say, hey, we're all in the same fight, in terms of our businesses, and it will bring us together to share in ways that we never did before. So thank you all for sharing, and don't be shy here. Raise your hand, just ask the question, it will pop up. This is a really, if you weren't in last week's shindig, it's a really fun platform, and I encourage you. I've tried to message people. If you go over the picture, it will then say, you'll have a text chat. Press that and just type a chat and talk to each other. During or after the meeting. Again, this is an opportunity for all of us to make some new friends and peers, and be able to go onward and share things. So thank you, and I'll turn it over to Z and our guests.
Thank you. Thanks for that handoff. As Tom and Bobby both mentioned, this is our meeting. This is your meeting. So feel free to ask any questions. We're all in this together, and we're all learning together. It's a wonderful platform to share our ideas. So before we get started, let me introduce our guests and tell you a little bit about them. Over the last 5 years, actually since 2014, Meghan Lukin has been a successful retailer in Hoboken, New Jersey. In a recent city blog about her store, Washington General Store in Hoboken, this influencer wrote, and please, Meghan, don't be embarrassed, all right, because this is great. You'll find a different array of goodies based on every upcoming holiday. Upon taking a look around, you can see that there is easily something for everyone, especially for the hostess in your life. So, Meghan, welcome.
Hi.
Next is Nathan Waldon. Hello, Nathan. Nathan, the slogan at Nathan & Company is design that makes you smile. And as Nathan said, we search all over to find our unique products and cards that live true to this slogan. And Nathan, like so many of our retailers, is very active in the community, and recently donated 10,000 masks to health workers at the local Oakland Kaiser Permanente Hospital. Welcome, Nathan.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
You bet. So I thought that to get us started, something that is very timely. Next week is the week leading up to Mother's Day. All right, it's a key gift-giving occasion, and this year is a little bit different from others, to say the least. And was wondering if you guys can just start off our discussion by what are some of the plans that you have to inspire all those gift givers out there?
We are, and I know this was mentioned in the last get-together, we are bundling as much as possible. We are creating the in-store experience on Instagram pretty much. So we are just posting several pictures a day of either bundles that we put together or items that are great for mom, how to get it to her. We're doing in-store pickup, we're shipping. But the bundles have been great. We've created different ones, like a self-care one, a mom box, a gardening box. So basically any way we can kind of put the gift together for them is what we've been doing, as well as personally shopping for them in the store.
And we're doing a really similar sort of thing. We're offering free local delivery within our community where our stores are located, which our customers really embrace. They love that personal interaction, even though there isn't any contact, but we don't even ring their doorbell, but we text them and we just say, your Nathan & Company goodies are arriving. And so they get a big kick out of that. We're also very active on Instagram and Facebook and adding new things all the time to our web store. It's been a challenge because, in the past, the web store wasn't a focus, and now it is 100% our focus. So for Mother's Day, I'm really encouraging our customers to interact with us. We're offering virtual shopping experiences at both of our locations. And we're also interacting a lot through social media and through emails, giving ideas. And they've really embraced it. They like that attention, and they like knowing that we want them to have the best gift possible. So it's been a win-win for our customers and for us.
Yeah, I think that what Nathan mentioned, they feel that special attention, and I think that that's what we can give our customers right now without them walking into the store. So we take text messages. We actually don't have an online platform, so we've been running this whole time simply based on Instagram direct messages and text messages, which
you're interacting a lot then.
It is a lot of work. But we didn't have a choice. We had a web store years ago, and it, like you said, it really wasn't a focus. It takes so much time and energy. So we shut it down a while ago, and, who could have predicted that this is where we would be? So, the first day we were closed, that's kind of what we decided to do, was just hit us up. We will tell us what you like. We've numbered every product that we're putting on Instagram for that reason, so they can just reference the number to us, so that it's a little bit more of a system. But it's for us been all through social media, but they really enjoy the extra attention of, it's my husband's birthday. Obviously I can't see what's in the store. What do you have? So we come in, we take pictures for them, and it'll go on for days sometimes, but, it's bringing in some business. So we're doing what we can.
And it's actually somewhat luxurious in today's market, where everyone's ordering their food online and ordering necessities from Amazon. They love that we're offering personal attention. So it's something that we can offer that the big box stores and the big web retailers cannot offer. And we've had a couple of experiences where a customer, something might be out of stock, or they think it should have arrived by now. And when they get a response from a real human in Oakland, California, they're kind of blown away that we can pick up the phone and call them, or we will send them a personal email. And any little glitches that we've had, the customer love has been tremendous, to the point where it almost brings tears to our eyes, because, these customers really do care about us, and they want us to be able to survive this.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it, is like, as long as they see that we keep trucking, and that's part of our whole Instagram strategy as well. It's like, we're not giving this ship up. Like, we are in this full-fledged. We are committed to making this situation work. And I think our customers are getting that. The perception is there for them. I also think that it's kind of we have a very hands-off sales approach in the store. We'll certainly answer any questions, people may have, but I feel people are more inclined to ask questions, or ask for help on these social media platforms, because it's not, my customer is much younger than probably most of yours. We're just right outside of New York City. So my customer ranges from about 25 to early 40s at the most, really. So I feel like, they're used to texting and direct messaging, and that's kind of been their preferred way, rather than like having to ask someone for real in the store.
Exactly. Yeah, we are similar in that we don't follow people around in the store. I always have told our associates in the store, this is a neighborhood experience. It's partly entertainment, and as long as they're smiling and having fun and enjoying the cards and whatever, we need to be available. But it's not, like, oh, can I show you this sort of store? It's about the experience and having fun.
Nathan, can you describe a little bit about the virtual experience that you have? Like, I almost wonder, are you finding that you get more out of the sale because you're talking to them, you're upselling, you're asking them beyond maybe just the specific gift they're looking for? I mean, can you describe a little bit about that virtual experience?
Well, they make an appointment, which goes directly to our email or to my cell phone. So I'm arranging the appointment. I typically don't do the FaceTime appointment. I have a store associate that does that, and she simply she interviews them a little bit, and we find out that we're building a gift for a 42-year-old guy who's an attorney, and it's this gal's husband. And then we walk them literally through the store and hold things up. And this particular person that I use is really great, and she really knows the merchandise in that store very, very well, and she's extremely personable. So we tell them the price, we describe the product, we show them the product, and then we take their credit card over the phone and we wrap it up, and either we deliver it or they do a curbside or we can ship it to them. So it's pretty simple, and it's there's not a lot of technology involved in it. It's just simply a FaceTime.
Yeah, we haven't done any FaceTimes, but we do it all through pictures, which seems to work as well. But I feel like we get a little bit more out of the sale than we would normally. If they say they want a bundle that's around $100, we'll make it 120, 140, and they'll usually go for it because the work is taken out of it for them.
Right. We haven't been doing a lot of bundling. We did at Easter, which was purely an idea that I woke up in the middle of the night with because I was like panicked with all of the Easter stuff that I had sitting in our storage room waiting to go out on the floor. So we decided to do and advertise custom Easter baskets, which could be for anyone from a little kid to an adult. And it went crazy. We were making hundreds of Easter baskets and delivering them and working really late at night doing it. But it was a great way with bundling, because if there was that one extra kids book that was sitting in our storage room and I didn't have it on the floor anymore because it was a little bit older, but it was in perfect condition, I could throw it in, and I wouldn't charge them for it. It was we had choices between $60 to $120 for the Easter baskets in $20 increments. And so I wanted everyone to have a bargain. So when they got that basket, if it was a $60 basket, it may have really been worth $80, but 20 of those dollars were things that were, just stragglers left over in the store. So it was a good way for us to clean up our inventory at the same time and delight the customer. The shipping charges, that's a big challenge. We have not mastered that at all. We do a flat rate of $7 for shipping. And that could be for the local delivery if it's outside of our area of the free delivery, or it could be USPS. So we're just kind of winging it and doing $7 across the board.
Yeah, we have a little more leeway because they're not purchasing through a web store. They're purchasing directly through us. So we can kind of like determine what it is, where it's going. So we kind of at this point have a ballpark of how much it's going to cost. Generally, we try and keep it a flat rate, just so it's sort of fair to everyone. But obviously, if we're shipping this huge box to Colorado, we'll adjust the charge. We in the beginning use pirate ship. My manager's 26 and she's like savvy like that. So, that's a really great way to get discounted postal service. Unfortunately for us, our postal office here pretty much all but shut down. They had closed the retail window as of April 1st. So they stopped scanning packages. So I had 50 packages out in the world with no tracking. So we quickly switched over to UPS. they're certainly much more efficient, but they're certainly more costly. We found a promo code that worked. I know another retailer I'm friendly with. She also suggested you call your UPS sales rep, and they can sort of adjust your rates. But I've actually found this promo code, and if you go on, I don't want to. My code is easy. I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but if you go on to ups.com, there's sometimes like you can see it's on the top, like use promo code, whatever. And I've kind of found a way around it where it doesn't work if my account is attached to the shipping information. If I just pay by credit card and disconnect my account, it's even cheaper. So that's been working for us, whatever way we can find, but it discounts it like 25, 30%. So it's 100% worth it.
I haven't had any issues with breaking yet. I'm waiting. So our policy is return anything that you want to return. And online, we're doing it exactly the same way. We want happy customers. So the only difference is if they do want to return it, we're asking them to put it in the post office or UPS and send it back to us. We're not covering that charge. But otherwise, they can return anything. And I haven't had to deal with breaking yet.
We've had, I think, 2 mugs break. And they were the same mug. So I quickly stopped shipping those mugs. But otherwise, I'm the only one packing. I've gotten pretty good at it. It wasn't really a specialty I had before. But I think it also helps to have one person specialized in that because I'm kind of learning how to make that work. We've been using crinkle and mailer boxes, which the mailer boxes are expensive, but they look nice. And the crinkle, you can kind of form everything into shape. And that seems to have been really successful. I mean, pretty much almost every package we ship is fragile. And I don't even label them as fragile, and they've made it there. So, you just have to invest in good packing supplies. I think that's one of the lessons I learned early on.
And learn how to use that tape gun.
Yeah. Of course. I do find the bundles to maybe not necessarily move as quickly, but actually what I did was build the bundles and reserved enough stock to build certain kits, but then I kept stock from the bundles outside of it. And a lot of the times stuff within the bundles, maybe I don't sell the whole bundle, but a lot of the things inside of the bundle sell. Maybe they want 3 out of the 7 things that are in the package, which we're happy to do. But I do find that at least it gives the customer a direction of where they want to go. Our customers sometimes need a lot of hand-holding. Not all of them, but the ones who do, they really like the direction that it's heading them in. They may pull some pieces out of it, but we try to push them to get the whole thing. But we do find the bundles have been really successful.
And I'd like to try it. So I think social selling will continue with us for at least the rest of this year. I think I'm planning my holiday strategy, and I'm staffing up the web part of the business because I think it's the only way that we will really survive. I'm in California, and we're still on lockdown, and we will be to June 1. So the store will not be open. And I think it's the only way we can survive. So absolutely, it's going to continue. I also think once the stores are able to reopen, there will be limits as to how many people are allowed in the store and how many people will be working. So we're preparing for that, and we're getting acrylic shields, and we have enough masks and gloves and disinfectant so that our staff and our guests can feel comfortable and safe. But I think it's going to be slow when the stores reopen. I'm not expecting any miracles.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that this is it for the rest of the year, especially where Nathan and I both are, California and New York, basically. I think there's a really good chance that we're going to see, a second go around of this, most likely at the end of the year, which is what I'm now preparing for. So my website is in the works because we cannot sustain this kind of selling for the holidays. But you can probably see behind me, we have an 800 square foot store. So it's jammed in here. And people aren't going to want to do that. So we are we started with home delivery when the lockdown kind of all happened, but we got away from it just because it was easier to do the pickups for my own personal sanity. But we are looking to 100% get back to home delivery, and we're going to take on some extra staff to do personal shopping, because I think that is the only way we're going to see sales going forward. I don't think people are going to run here, especially where we are. I mean, they're going to, when we ever make it back to work, they're going to be taking the train to Manhattan, coming home, going home to their families. They're not going to be stopping, on their way home from work or anything like that. I think this is the way for the rest of the year.
Exactly. And I think that we should all plan for that as being the worst case scenario, and maybe we will be pleasantly surprised. The other thing that I've decided to do, and I did this for Mother's Day, is I brought back a publicist that we used to work with to help us drive traffic to our website. So the PR firm specializes in getting pieces that we carry published in magazines and with editors and influencers and bloggers. So it's worked really well in the past. And, that's going to be key, is keeping that traffic going, because our local clientele, they're shopping with us already. But in order to make those holiday numbers that I need to anniversary, I need the whole country to be going to the website looking for something special.
Yeah, that's kind of been my philosophy with packing as well. I'm not skimping on packaging. My packaging standards haven't changed since this started, basically because I need whatever outreach I can get right now. If someone is shipping something to their mom in the middle of the country, I need mom during the holidays to want to come back and remember, I received this gift. It was wrapped so beautifully. This is something that I want to continue to, give to my loved ones as well. So I think that's like almost my way of advertising to people outside of Hoboken in a way.
Yes, absolutely. Puzzles have been tremendous for me. It's like we have reordered and reordered, and I'm actually really amazed, because when this whole thing went down, we actually shut our stores down 2 days before our county shut down, for safety reasons for our staff and for our guests in the store. So I was pretty depressed, and I was like, oh my God, we have so much product. What am I going to do? And there was a little bit of panic. And I couldn't imagine that in 2 weeks I would be writing reorders on certain things. But puzzles have been tremendous. What I'm hearing right now is it's really difficult to get product for puzzles. Everyone's pretty much sold out. So when I find things that I think will resonate with our guest, I'm buying it and just getting it in stock so that we can continue that, because at least for us, and probably for Meghan, puzzles will continue to be a big deal while people are on lockdown.
Yeah, we had like maybe 8 puzzles in the store when this all happened, and we posted them and they went like that same day. So I was like, okay, this is something we need to do immediately. So we ordered tons of puzzles. We ordered paint by numbers, which blew out. I sold them like in 3 days. It was insane. I just bought some like mini watercolor kits. We actually built a busy box, so it includes a DIY hoop embroidery, teach yourself calligraphy, and the little watercolor kit I mentioned. But candles continue to be a hot seller for us. People are at home, so anything that's bringing some life into their home right now, that's also what we're seeing. But for sure, anything to keep people busy. I really wish I was as bored as them right now.
Me too.
But I had someone buy 6 paint by numbers. I don't know how long that's going to take her, but though that any category where it's sort of games, that's been a hot seller too, and we built a game box based on that. But those aren't normally my top sellers. Candles usually always are, and will continue to be, I think, throughout this.
And very similar for us, candles continue to check. The thing that has really worked, and I don't think it's necessarily because of Mother's Day, because people were buying it right when we started directing it to our online store, but 100 Stars has been tremendous for us, and we've been chasing to get back in stock on the robes and the kimonos, and they all have always done really well in our shops. But kudos to Two's Company, because it's continuing online. Potentially, we might do that. I think that's a great idea in the beginning. Maybe it is shopping by appointment. I haven't really delved into that completely to see. I know there are some stores locally that are already doing that as shopping by appointment. I personally think it's risky. Like, we really are believing in the zero contact. So even for curbside, when their gifts are ready, they ring us. We have like a little portico sort of entrance to our shop. There's a line. They stop there. We open the door, we wave, we blow them a kiss, and put the package on the outside of the door, close it, lock it, they come and pick it up. So it's just going to depend on what the experts are telling us locally as to what is safe and what isn't. I'm not opposed to doing in-store appointments if that's what we need to do and if it's safe.
Yeah, I think that would be a struggle for me, just based on our hours. And we're open 7 days a week. So I wouldn't necessarily want to limit people from, or discourage people from coming to shop. So I don't know, I'm a bit unsure of that, because I don't think, one, my customers are like never on time. They don't show up to events. Like, this is how they are. So they kind of work on their own schedule. But I don't know. I wouldn't want to keep the door closed if someone's outside wanting to come in, and I'm in here with someone, privately. So I don't want to necessarily limit ourselves, but who knows? I mean, it's going to be trial and error. I think everything will be in the beginning.
Exactly. Invest in the proper tape gun and the proper box.
And good tape. Yeah, I think that.
In fact, I want to get fancy and get tape with our logo on it. That's like my new goal.
Yeah, well, we have that, but this is from my site, and it's the worst tape ever, but it's got our logo on it, so I have to use it, and it's awful. So invest in good tape; it's 100% worth it. For me, the aha moment was the packaging. In the very first day, I was just using whatever boxes I had to use, because I had to. I eventually then figured like we're actually doing business. I need to order boxes. And I invested in a lot of different sizes because in the end, you're going to end up spending more if it's in too big of a box. You're going to end up spending more in shipping. And then if it's in too big of a box, it's going to break. So my aha moment was for sure like packaging, how this is going to work, and how to get it to look nice all at the same time.
Exactly. That's key. I believe in doing Instagram boosting. So I spend a significant amount of money boosting posts on Instagram and occasionally on Facebook too. Our guests at the store really are more Instagram driven. We have a lot more followers on Facebook because we've been doing Facebook a lot longer. But I've switched focus to Instagram, and like Meghan, we're posting a lot. And it's really interesting to watch because you can post and in 45 minutes, someone has ordered that item that you just posted. So I like that interaction. It cuts down on my anxiety of having the shops because I'm like, okay, I'm getting that instant gratification that I do when the brick and mortars are actually open and we're ringing that register. So Instagram for us and boosting posts. We're also doing emails and encouraging people to follow us if they aren't. We're doing the media outreach with our publicist. So they're getting referenced. The bloggers will mention us, our Instagram account and our website sometimes. So that helps. But just be out there and continue to post. And it's a slow process, at least it was for us. But just keep sticking with it, and it will grow as you keep doing it.
Yeah, we are pretty much solely Instagram at this point. We actually don't even send emails. We are Instagram obsessed. That just is where our customers interact with us the most. It's where they follow us the most. And it's around town here, we have a really great local blogger with like 100,000 followers, who has been doing shout outs. We're paying to advertise with her for Mother's Day. She's the person we need right now to get everyone's attention, that we're open, that we're here. And that's how we've been able to get new. It's also tagging like great groups in town, or working together with some of these really great initiatives that are going on, I know, everywhere. We have a group that started buying from local restaurants to feed healthcare workers' families. We've contributed to that. I think anywhere where you can kind of get your name in the fold, especially for a good reason or a donation or something like that. I know we're all probably a bit pinched with our pennies, but it goes a long way. And I heard people in the beginning, and it was in reference to like big companies like airlines, but people aren't going to forget the companies that do the right thing at this time. So we found that like just local donations has gotten us pretty far with a following.
Exactly. I totally agree. And that's a philosophy that we've always had in the shops. And it's even more important now because anything that we can give back, I think the credit that's given is tenfold than what it was 6 months ago. Yeah. I missed the last question. It depends on my mood. I'm managing it. So, and it depends on how quickly orders are coming in, so I can do up to 9 posts a day. I try to keep it down to 6 because I don't want to annoy people, but we do post a lot.
Normally we would do 1 post a day and then several stories a day on Instagram. But we've completely changed that whole system. So that's one of the ways I was able to hire someone back. We have one part-timer that all she does during the day is post. So we post probably 10 times a day right now, and then feed all sorts of stuff into the stories as well.
Exactly.
It's a lot right now, but people are on Instagram more than ever, being home, and they they want to shop. Like, it feels like they want to be involved. They want to feel the same as when they were able to go out and do fun things.
Exactly. Our Instagram feed originally was more of a lifestyle feed. It was lots of pictures of my dogs and what I was eating for dinner, and things like house projects. I really didn't want to sell people so much product on Instagram, so I actually went on and did a video for Instagram that apologized. It was like, I'm going to one of these days I'll be able to send you pictures of my dogs and what I'm eating for dinner and how I set my table. But right now we need people to shop with us, and we're going to mix it all up. And it's probably 90% product driven now and only 10% lifestyle. But people have really embraced it and they like it. So it may be a best practice that we move forward with and make Instagram a little bit more commercial. I think you have to mix in some fun personal things, because for some reason, and I'm sure you guys all feel the same way, when you have a store, your fans, you're a little bit special to them because you own that store. So they like knowing a little bit behind the scenes of what you're going through, the good things and the bad things. So we try to keep it as real as possible.
Same here. I dread them and I hate doing them, but we've been doing like Instagram videos for the stories, and I'll have my kids around, my dog or something that makes the connection there, the personal connection. Or I'll just mention something about my family, the struggles of being at home with a 1 and 3-year-old. But I think that the Instagram videos really do help right now to talk to your customers, and they can kind of feel your vibe of like, listen, guys, we're trudging along here. We're doing our best. Like, we want to be here for you. And I think the videos get that across the most efficiently.
Absolutely. It's that human contact. There was a question earlier about, I'm sorry, our phones are ringing, about the Instagram posting. It's very reasonably priced. And once you post, there's a little button at the bottom of the post that says, would you like to promote? And so you click on it, and it's totally up to you. You can spend $2 or you can spend $100. We keep ours really low, but we do a lot of it. So I'll typically spend about $5 a day boosting a post for 3 days or 5 days. So it's not horribly expensive, but it does add up quickly.
I have not gotten there yet, but I realize it is something we're going to need to do. We always try and do somewhat of like a gift guide for the holidays. So, that's kind of in the same vein, but I do think that really outside of even just fourth quarter, I think every holiday is going to need its own like bundle. So something as simple as like Memorial Day, 4th of July. I mean, I don't know how long we're going to be quarantined for here. But Halloween, are people going to send their kids out trick or treating? I don't think so. I don't know. So, maybe it's a matter of like putting together a Halloween basket that a parent can give to their kid because they didn't get to go trick or treating. It's kind of, that's as far as I've gotten with thinking about those kind of bundles, but I think they're 100% going to be relevant.
Megan, I have a question for you. Are you doing bundles for like party supplies, birthday parties, anniversary parties?
I don't carry that. I know a few stores that have that stuff and have been doing well with them, it seems, because that's a great idea. I mean, right now, nobody wants to go out and get that stuff from even just an essential store like, a pharmacy that still carries it, but nobody wants to go get it. And that's what I realized at Easter, too. They could easily go into CVS and get the cookies, but they wanted the personal shopping for the Easter basket. So yeah, I think that that's going to be the case.
Agreed.
Wow. I've gotten about 6 pages of notes here so far, so they're pretty inspiring. One of the things that you said, Megan, and one of the things that I've always enjoyed about this industry is spending time with such creative people throughout the day. So I'm really appreciating this. Megan, you said that it really rang true that about personal shopping. I mean, that's something that you probably never did before, but it's probably something I would think that when the all clear signal sounds, that is a wonderful way to have a personal shopping, digital personal shopping thing. And one of the things I've always been impressed. And by the way, Nathan, I hope you haven't lost 3 sales with those forms.
Someone at your door right now.
That would actually be really cool. Sure. Write an order. Well, it would be inspiring. But I can come into virtually any retailer, visit any retailer, and ask, what's your average register ring? In other words, and because of so many POS systems, that they can say, 3 items, $43 or whatever. Do you find that the personal shopping and all the services that you're providing now, has your average sale gone up, gone down, about the same?
Mine's gone up for sure. It's gone up. Obviously, the transaction numbers have really, cut in half almost. But one, we're offering free shipping over $75. So that always pushes people. If they were going to spend 60, they're like, oh, okay, I'll spend the 75 or the 100. Then that 75 somehow turns into 100 when they see what you've put together. I think that's the key. Is the pictures or videos, when they see it all together, and we just tell them, here's the price of the whole thing. And they're like, oh, that looks great. Or they try and pull a few things out and it's like, well, how much was that? I don't really, maybe I don't need that. And then when you take it away, they're like, oh, it was only $4. All right, just go ahead and put it back in. We try not to give them the specific prices of every single thing in the bundle. Which I think has helped also.
Nathan, how about yourself?
Well, for our
average sale has gone up.
It's hard for me to really answer that because our personal shopping appointments are with really great customers who know our store. So I think it's probably about the same. Online, it's a total mix. It's like we have, people that are ordering 10 cards at $50, and then we have people that are, bundling their own things, and they will spend $300. So I don't know. I really don't have the data, but I think the personal shopping part of it is probably about the same for that guest because they really know us. We're not doing the personal shopping with newbies yet.
I saw a question earlier about the categories, but you mentioned 100 stars. Thank you for the plug, by the way.
My order's on the way. I just got confirmation this morning.
I'm going to go get it. If you see me run out the door, I'm going to go get it. I don't know if you use the word, but it would almost seem like now that there's a fair amount of pampering that people are looking for. So maybe that the loungewear from 100 Stars might be that. But I think Megan and I spoke a little while ago, and you were talking about pillows. That all of a sudden you were selling pillows. That was a pretty way to update your home. But again, that's a pampering thing. So I'm going to step off, and maybe you can talk a little bit about the pampering aspect of it.
Sure.
Yeah, one box that we can't stop selling is like a self-care box. We also made a healthcare box that, has like mass classes, pretty much a self-care box. But those are great gifts to send to someone, or these people are spending way more time at home than they ever have before. So they want to treat themselves. They want to, I started buying nail polish for the boxes because they can't go get their nails done. I mean, just simple things that they normally do in their everyday life. They want to still kind of have at home. it's just happening at home rather than in a spa or, a mani-pedi place. But yeah, we've been noticing people upgrading things in their home. And it's been a great way for us to get rid of like onesie type products. We put like a pillow up, and for every post we put the number of units available and the price, so that there's no questions just about that. So we put like pillows up and it's like only one left and it's gone. And I don't know if it's just the sense of urgency that there's only one left, but that we do notice people sort of upgrading like wall art, just random stuff. But I think they're just spending more time at home looking around at their empty walls, or, looking around at their pillows on their couch and wanting to, make a change.
Exactly. The other thing that we've done that's sort of similar about home stuff, we have taken our windows and made them into shopping experiences. So unlike Meghan, we're not numbering things, but in the old days, we would like painstakingly take prices off so that no one could see what the price was or the brand. And now we're redoing our windows once a week and a half. And so changing them out and not doing anything really special. It's always like what we've always done. It's a lifestyle window, but we're doing little rubber stamped price tags that are really cute that have a price on them. And then they can direct messages us and buy directly from the window. And the other thing that has really worked for the pampering part of it is, like Meghan, the nail polish. We carry nail polish, and it really took off online. And I realized it was because, you could only go to a drugstore to get nail polish, and you couldn't get anything really cool like what a boutique would carry. So that's been a win. And then we're selling CBD bath salts, and that's been crazy.
Yeah, we sell a lot of shower bombs all day long. I am a sucker for patty wax. I can't, everything I bring in just sells. So, big patty wax. We've tried to do, some local, we've always carried a local, candle maker here. So we've been trying to push his stuff as well. And then I recently just, got into called Ginger June candles. But they say like best mom ever. They have like funny things about quarantine. So pretty much anything that's uplifting or funny. But patty wax is still my number one. I can't deny them.
We're similar. Patty wax and Valespa are our two, and they're neck and neck with selling. So, and they're continuing online, selling just as well as they do in the store. And like Meghan, we have a local Oakland candle maker called Penelope Candles. And she has really funny scents like Portland flannel and, the Bay Bridge and like iconic things for the West Coast. And that's always done really well. And we love it because she's an Oakland girl. So
we sell a lot of PF candle too. That's been a big one for us. It's very gender neutral, so it's great. We made a PF candle box. So it included a candle, diffuser, room spray, and something else. But those went really quickly. I actually reordered them because I think that they are gender neutral. They can kind of be sent to anybody. Those are great candles.
I'm planning my holiday sales at 50% of what they were last year. And I hope I'm totally wrong. And I hope I'm scrambling to get product. But I want to feel safe, and I don't want to, I want to pinch the pennies as much as we can and just not incur any more debt than we've already incurred with this whole mess.
Same. We're trending 50%, so I'm going with it. And, that's what I see happening, unfortunately. I think it's also, we have to consider what we're buying. Again, we're selling things that we never sold before.
Exactly.
puzzles, games, things like that. So we're going to have to adjust what it is we're selling. I still think it's very valid that people are going to decorate their homes. I think that's a really big opportunity for us. But I think we're going to see it cut down on like Secret Santas and, we're going to a Christmas party. I don't really see those happening the way they normally do.
There was a question about sales reps and how they can help. I'm so fortunate because I don't even like calling our sales reps. They're my buddies. So it's amazing how nice and sweet our sales buddies have been to us. And they've done everything from help me write orders to monitor inventory because we've run out of time and we really need to get back in stock in something. We have a rep that last night was emailing me at all hours, lifestyle images of some things that weren't selling as quickly as I thought they should online. And she was thinking, well, maybe it's because you're just showing the product. You're not showing how to wear it. So, everyone's been extremely gracious and fabulous to us. I also have another book rep who will be delivering gifts for us next week, the week of Mother's Day. So, it takes the whole village to keep this boat afloat, and our buddies are there with us.
Yeah, I think something that could be helpful, as vendors work through this as well, is just calling out like more relevant product right now. I certainly don't have the time, and I'm very much a hands-off buyer in the sense that I don't meet with many reps. I do a lot of my buying through catalogs online. It's just how I prefer to work. But I don't have the time to be doing that right now. So even in like a lost email, I'm not getting through everything right now just because we've been so bogged down. But if it's, hey, we started, and this is just an example, like we pivoted and now we're making masks, or we pivoted and we're making sanitizer. Those are really good call outs for us. Because I want to stick with my regular vendors. So I prefer to buy from a vendor I've already bought from than have to go search it out with someone new. So really like relevant product to what's going on right now is a really good just call out. And also helping with any photo needs, because we pull a lot of our photos from the websites. But even something as simple as like sending us some photos from our 365, like, so we just have them right there is probably helpful.
Larry, that is a bird cage. Would you like me to ship it to you? Okay, we'll sell it to you. Everything's for sale.
Yeah, I think, like I mentioned, just really the pampering thing is a big one. I think we're going to sell robes and, we always sell like fuzzy socks, but slippers, things that really were more difficult to display in the store. So, again, in 800 square feet, I am very limited, but online selling is completely different. You have an opportunity to model it on somebody or show it in a different way. And that is one of the things we're seeing working, things we normally wouldn't have sold just because people didn't notice them or couldn't see them. They're folded instead of, in a beautiful photo somewhere. I think we're going to get into more of that pampering stuff.
Megan, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is your goal to have your commerce site up and running for holiday?
Yes. We are in the process of building it, and I'm being very careful about how we're building it because I didn't want to just, slap something up and just for this need. I want to make sure that it's fully functional for fourth quarter. That's the goal. Like right now we can manage what we're doing, but 100% the goal is to get it fully functioning, ready to go fourth quarter. And one of those things that I'm working with the developer on is bundles, but making the bundles somewhat customizable so that, you know, if you wanted to swap something in and out of a box, here's a list of 4 other products at the same price that you can choose from instead. It helps like the personalization, but you're giving them a direction. It's, you know, it's going to be expensive, but I think it'll be worth it.
Totally. I agree. Good for you.
Whatever we can do, right?
Exactly. Well, you don't need a POS system to sell online. We've had 2 websites in the last 14 years that we've been in business. The first one was done in the early days, and it was extremely fancy and complicated to the point where I couldn't change product out on my own. I would have to go back to the person that was the developer. And so we ended up about 3 or 4 years ago trashing that website after spending a ton of money of maintaining it and doing all of our own photography and all of that. And I hired a young guy to do our website. And like I said, you know, I want to be able to manage this on my own. I want it to be simple like Facebook. And so that's what he gave us. And we use WordPress and WooCommerce. And it's been great. It's really, really simple to turn products off. We do not integrate our inventory into the store inventory, which has been a little bit of a now because things were selling quickly and we weren't expecting it. So we weren't turning things off. But now we're setting limits for all of our inventory that's online so that the guest knows if they order it, they will actually get it, which wasn't the case 2 weeks ago. So it's not fun to have to tell someone, thank you for ordering, but we don't have that anymore. So that's been our big initiative for the past week and a half. So my advice to you is go ahead and do the website, but do something simple that you can manage on your own. It's fine to hire a designer in the beginning to make sure that it's beautiful and it represents your store, but those product pages need to be really easy to edit.
Yeah. So, you know, the way we're functioning right now is actually through, like I said, Instagram, for the most part, text messages and direct messages from Instagram. And we are actually just having customers Venmo, set up a Venmo for the store. They can call with a credit card. Few people do, but the Venmo pretty much serves as their receipt. They're comfortable doing it. It saves us on the credit card fee. It comes through as cash. So it's been a really simple way of, you know, using a social media platform as a selling tool, because we just tell them the total and then they Venmo us, and we don't ship it until we get the Venmo. I wish I had one here. I'll show you. So we use these mailers that you have to fold yourself, which really stinks, but they keep everything really tight in there. We use crinkle. And then I build everything inside the box. I put craft paper on top of the box, on top of the items, so that it keeps it all from moving around in there. And you know, then you kind of know the standard size of when you're building a box, how it's going to fit in there. We have 2 different sizes. And then for shipping purposes, like that's why it's easier for us to kind of know the weight and the size and how much in ballpark it's going to cost us to ship it.
Really, it saves you so much time.
Yeah.
It's really important to have the right materials. It took us a while to figure that out, but it's made it a lot easier. The other thing is that we gift wrap just like we do in the stores. So there's a button that you push on the website if you want something gift wrapped, and we'll do a gift enclosure with it. So take a lot of pride in the way we wrap things. I will show you some of our pretty wrapping that's going out today, but we also do little Post-it notes on it so they know what it is because they're buying multiple items. But like Megan said, the crinkle paper is really important because we know when those gifts arrive to the guest that they're going to be beautiful, and that I'm a real stickler about that. I want the stuff to look beautiful when it arrives. So invest in all of that stuff. It's not that expensive. And this is our chance to really shine as being a little guy online and get those repeat customers.
Couldn't agree more. And we put our card in every single box. That's a gift. So we started allocating to the boxes, which really helps. Pretty much we build as many boxes as the lowest inventoried item. So I built in my POS, not physically built, but we built it in the POS, 9 large Mother's Day boxes because I have cosmetic bags going in them that I have 9 of. So that's what we did. But that, I think, as I mentioned earlier, then kind of leaves leftover for a lot of the other pieces in the box. So you at least can sell those outside of the box. It's not the easiest thing to manage, but if your POS, and I didn't know it for quite some time, if your POS has the capability of building gift bundles, it's a game changer.
I haven't had any disasters yet. So knock on wood. I love social media. It's a great, I'm a very antsy sort of person. I like to stay busy. I like things going on. So it really suits me well to manage our online media because it's interactive, and I'm really making a huge effort where I haven't in the past to make sure if someone messages us or leaves a comment on something that we posted, that we respond. And a year ago, I would do that if I happened to see it or thought about it. But now I think it's really important. People need and want that interaction. They need to know that someone's listening. They need to know that someone cares. It's really, really important. And as you know, like all of our stores have our own personalities, and it probably has a lot to do with who founded the store and the company. It's a great way of interacting with people for that brand and sharing thoughts of what's important. And they love it. It's fun, and it's fun for us too because it keeps us busy and it keeps it very positive and happy.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go as far to say that they were total disasters, but we have the occasional "I'm only human" slip ups. So the way that we work it is that my store manager takes all of the orders on Instagram. We put it into a Google Doc. I'm the packer. So right now that's how we're operating, so that we have this shared document. So occasionally she'll write, the quantity is 2, they want 2 mugs, and I've put 1 mug in the box because I'm crazy packing and didn't notice that there was supposed to be 2. So something like that. So luckily that happened pretty early on. So I'm like very keenly aware. But we're human, and people more than ever have been very understanding. We try and go above and beyond for them, and I think they know that. So there really hasn't been total disasters. The only other thing that happens occasionally is our POS will be off by a unit. So we'll sell something, and then I get into pack it, and I'm like, we don't have that book. So we have to contact the customer, which isn't fun, but it's a rare occasion. Or before she sells it and she thinks there's 1 unit left, she confirms with me when I'm in the store before she gives the go ahead with the customer. It's a lot of back and forth.
It's a ton of back and forth.
Mhm.
We are at Nathan and spelled out A-N-D Co.
And we are at Washington General.
We just were approved for an SBA loan. We're kind of working through the ramifications of how we use it. We don't have the money yet, but we know it's on its way. It seems like a pretty good deal, and I was a little bit reluctant because I did not want to do anything that made me incur any more debt right now. But the small business loan does seem like it's going to really help. So yes to that question.
We just got the email this morning that our PPP went through, so that's a relief. But to be honest, I don't. We run a very skeletal staff, so I only have one full timer. The rest of my employees all work like 1 or 2 days a week. So it's going to be a challenge for me to meet the 75% payroll stipulation in order for the loan to be forgiven. So I have to get creative on ways to make that happen. But it would have been more beneficial to me to put that towards rent, but obviously that's not happening. So, I'm trying to pull in people, and I only got it this morning, but I have someone coming in on Sunday when I'm not here. The 1 day a week I don't come in right now, so that she can maybe just like go and organize the basement. Stuff that needs to be done anyway, and is a good time to do while we're not open. So I'm just it's going to be something to navigate, but anywhere we can try and throw someone a couple of hours, that's what we need to do.
We've done exactly the same thing. We kept 2 people, one person to work exclusively on the website, and then we kept a merchandiser to kind of revamp one of our shops that needed some reorganization. So it's kind of fun to go over and look at the shop and the transformation. We're doing a different strategy of merchandising than what we've done in the past. So it'll be a fun experiment, and it gives us something happy to think about, and we can still be creative. So I think using the time right now that we have as extra time is a good idea, and try to be creative with it.
Well, this is, you guys have been great. We're an hour and 15 minutes into this, and it has blown by. It's so interesting. I'm sure the creative part of this industry is what brought you into it. But Meghan, little did you know that you would become an operations expert along the way.
Did not know that would be my expertise here.
Well, I'm impressed. Thank you so much. By the way, that was our Utah territory manager, who's so I'm sure he'll be in communication with you, Nathan, about that bird cage back up there. So I'm glad you were able to make a sale during the.
Right, I know, that's great. Business is picking up.
Thank you so much. I'm glad. I think it was Chris earlier who asked for your Instagram addresses, so everybody should be following you, your stores, and all the creative things that you're doing. I have to apologize because there are still several people who have asked questions. I don't want to take advantage of your graciousness for being here. We're going to keep the site open for another, for as long as people are still here. So if you'd like to ask some of these questions, please feel free to do so. If you got to go, I understand. Would you mind terribly if you just gave us your email addresses? Because in the event that they got to go, they can ask their questions as well.
Yeah, mine's Meghan at Washington General Store. It's MEGHAN.
And mine is nthnco@yahoo.com.
Great. So we've created a video of this, and we'll be sending it to all of our participants and our attendees. I want to thank you both for a wonderful sharing of information. I've learned a lot, and I really appreciate your time. So you bet.
Thank you for organizing it, Tom. It really, last week's meeting was amazing, and I immediately called my tooth company rep, and I was like, "Thank you for encouraging me to do this, because I learned so much, and I think it's a great new best practice, and maybe this continues."
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a break next week, so you'll have plenty of time to sell all those mom bundles out there, and we'll hope to get another one in 2 weeks. So again, thanks so much for your time, and if you want to hang out, feel free to do so. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.